What was something someone did that instantly killed all attraction you had to them? Crushed bags of chips at the store. Had been seeing each other for a few months. We're going to make dinner at my place that night. Went to the grocery store to pick up a few things and he randomly starts grabbing bags of chips from the bottom and crushing them. Tells me him and his kids do this every time they go grocery shopping. WTF. Told me verbatim, our genetics are optimal for mating. Hanging out with a bunch of friends one night and she's been weirdly all over me drunk. She's being really touchy and looks up at me and says, "How tall are you?" To which I replied that I'm 5'7" and she recoils and goes, "Ooh. Guys 6 feet and under are friends." I rolled my eyes and walked away. She's 4'11". They were on their phone the entire time I was at dinner with them. Obviously I wasn't worth the attention. Snapped me out of it quickly thankfully. They asked me to take credit for a car accident they caused. I was sitting in the backseat, with another friend of mine, and she turned around to talk to the friend. While putting her foot on the gas, she rear-ended the car in front of her. I was the only other person in the car with a license and she panicked. She asked me to quickly get in the driver's seat so the woman whose car got hit would think I hit her. I didn't hate her for it or anything, but something like that really kills feelings. He told me he got fired from his job for reasons that were 100% his fault, then bragged about leaving fake bad reviews on the company's website. He was also 3 years older than me. I just saw this as really immature, petty and lame. Stopped talking to him after that. Actually threw a plastic chair at someone. I was on a Tinder date, and it was my first date with someone the same race as me, so I was happy to have shared experiences and some interesting conversation, until she went on an hour-long rant about how we need to get rid of all white people. When I was a teacher, I had a guy say, "I think you're a teacher because you don't think you can do anything else." Not only insulting and disrespectful to me, but to all teachers who give so much of themselves to their students. I told him as much and he said I was being too sensitive. Talked shit about their children. I'm not a kid person, but hearing a dad say his kid sucked, really made me disinterested quick. And I had been very interested. Drove away the duck too fast with me in the passenger seat begging him to slow down. For real thought I was about to die. Kept squirming his tongue randomly like he was licking something. Littered. When I was dating, if they started talking badly about their ex or mother of their child I was immediately uninterested. Not only is it not a first-day topic but talking badly about others to a stranger isn't a good look. Told me to get my toes fixed. 2 toes on each foot are half-webbed. I like them and think they make me look cool and different without being weird or gross. I was gonna give the guy a BJ after we went swimming but sitting by the pool and hearing his opinion of my toes absolutely killed anything I felt. I just told him to leave and that was the end of it. When he said that I didn't know what I was talking about, when I said that autism spectrum disorder (ASD) is genetic, not a result of vaccines, and that the study that supposedly proved that it was caused by the MMR vaccine had been redacted from the medical journal it was originally published in. Keep in mind, as someone with an Asperger's syndrome diagnosis, I have a high-functioning form of ASD. I had all of my vaccines on time, including the MMR vaccine, and wasn't diagnosed with Asperger's until I was 9. His only evidence that ASD is caused by vaccines is the study that was redacted, and the fact that scientists haven't been able to pinpoint which genes are affected in people on the spectrum, versus people who aren't on the spectrum. She laughed and pointed at a homeless man. "Nah girl, miss me with that shit." Told me she'd had her rifles confiscated by the police because she had threatened her last boyfriend with them via text. I mean, I give her points for honesty, but I stopped sticking my pendies in that crazy. I was set up on a blind date by a friend. I had texted with the guy back and forth beforehand and we got on all right and I thought he was decent looking from the pictures I saw. When we met in person, he just sat there and stared at me the entire time. He never said a word, just stared. I was so uncomfortable I just wanted to get away. Thank God it was just coffee and not a dinner date. Never saw him again. Dated this chick for half a second where all she did was talk about herself or steer a conversation towards talking about herself. It got old by the time we were done with appetizers. Super rude to a waitress. I have no time for people who can't respect service industry folks. On our second date he made a joke about me giving him a blowjob by the dumpsters at the restaurant we were eating at. Said, "Whatever, I don't care," when I was talking about a book I was really enjoying. Chewing with their mouth open. One of my ex-boyfriends yelled at the waitress because she brought out our food and his entree was touching the side dish and his plate. I was already thinking about ending things, but that accelerated our breakup and I dumped him that same night. This is really random, but there was this really good-looking guy, but he ate yogurt in such a way that it was getting smeared all around his mouth. He just looked like a big baby or someone who's underdeveloped. So that really extinguished the attraction. Spit on the ground at the pool. Ain't nobody got time to step in swimmer goop. Kept lying about even the most basic of things. When she talks like a baby. I get it, people talk to their pets that way or to actual infants like that. And it's still annoying, but I can't stand being talked to like that. It's not cute at all. Tried to sully my name when he was angry and tried to kiss my ass and get back together. Found out she had a boyfriend. Gave up because I'm not an asshole and her BF was my friend. Asked me out as a joke to make fun of me if I said yes since they were kidding without obviously kidding. Said, without knowing it applied to me, that people like me deserve to be rounded up and killed. Would drift while I was in the car because he knew it scared me. He also made me feel like a complete idiot all the time. Different guy. Laughed when I told him how I had been stalked in middle school. Instant nope from me. He, somewhat unsurprisingly, proceeded to stalk me. Guy number 3. I heard and saw the way he treated his mom. If he can't show the woman who birthed him basic respect, I doubted he would have much for me down the road. I could keep going, but I think that's enough for now. My ex broke up with me because I had an epileptic seizure in front of him. Foaming at the mouth and twitching on the floor at 2 a.m. is apparently a giant future boner killer. I get it, still sucks. Update though, my hubby, bless his ginger soul, is incredibly helpful with my epilepsy and a giant sweetheart. Told me my cat was stupid for no reason other than, he hated cats. We were texting after a party and it was going well, but after talking about our pets he calls my cat stupid. I ask why, he just says cause all cats are stupid. So I just stop replying to him cause why the duck would I try and date someone who doesn't like my cat? Even EXS who were super allergic never said something so rude. 2 immediately come to mind. First was a guy the first dated who was great until I heard him make jokes about disabled people and also say the N-word, he's very white. Second was a girl who told me that she and her friends go to restaurants and stores and try to be as loud, annoying, rude, and disruptive as they can until they get kicked out. They apparently literally go to the mall and try to get kicked out of as many stores as possible. I don't have time for people who needlessly bother and disrespect workers like that. I come from a farming family. A welder I was dating told me farming isn't real work. He wanted to get married. His bad. He was cute though, looked like a young Elliot Stabler from Law and Order SVU. Peed against the side of a building in broad daylight while walking around South Beach. More than once. There were restrooms everywhere. Talked about her dad's money. She didn't have a job, never has, and drinks every single day but has the nerve to act entitled because her father is wealthy, who also hates her. She instantly lost all respect and sense of credibility from that moment on. This very handsome guy the first worked with had slept with someone else we worked with. She wasn't well liked, so I guess he didn't want people to know about it, but she told everyone and showed me texts between them, so I knew she was telling the truth, so he would talk shit about her constantly. He would say some truly awful things about her and it turned me off of him so bad that I just tried to avoid him. If you're gonna sleep with someone you work with, you should be on the same page as far as telling other people. And if you don't make that clear with the other person, don't try to cover your ask by being a disgusting jerk. Went into the work fridge, shook up a random soda can and laughed uncontrollably for a few seconds and said whoops.